Welcome to the online lecture series on 8051 microcontroller. In this video tutorial, we shall discuss very important concept, that is the RS-232 standard. Okay, and it is also one of the important theory questions for the examination. Along with this, we shall also see the signals of the DB9 connector. Now, what is this RS-232 standard? Okay. RS2, so for communication, we need to have a standard universally. So it cannot happen that in India we have one standard and in America we have one more standard and Europe follows one more standard. Okay. For that, what happens is international bodies are international bodies will be present. So they will decide a standard which has to be followed in the entire world. Okay, that's why it is called as universal asynchronous receiver and transmitter. Okay, now, so RS-232 is such a standard which was introduced. Okay, so it is a standard defined for serial communication. Okay, and it supports both synchronous type of communication as well as asynchronous type of communication. Okay, it was introduced in early 1960. Okay, by Electronics Industry Association. Okay, it was introduced in 1960s. Okay, so there are some terminologies which RS-232 defines. RS-232 is defined as the interface. Interface is the interconnection between the data terminal equipment. Normally, your PC is called as the data terminal equipment and the data communication equipment, the other device which you connect. So in our case, it is, so here it is modem, but for us it is your 8051 which is communicating with your PC. So RS-232 is the interface between the data terminal equipment and the data communication equipment. Why the interface is happening? For the exchange of serial data. Okay, so this picture shows what is data terminal equipment and what is data communication equipment, and these two are connected by a cable called as RS-232 cable. Okay, so not every PC comes with that RS-232 port. Okay, the newer PCs, they are not at all coming with RS-232 port because we are already using the USB communication. Okay, older PCs, they have that RS-232 port. Okay, so now what is this RS-232? And we have to understand one more thing here. Okay, now as I have told you, so the communication is digital. It is either logic 0 or logic 1. Okay, now every logic has got its own voltage level. Okay, now see this table and you will understand better. So this RS-232 was introduced in 1960s. At that time, they had defined a voltage of -3 to -25 volts for logic 1. Okay, any voltage between -3 to -25 volts was treated as logic 1, and any voltage between +3 to +25 was treated as logic 0. But as the time passed, so more logic families were introduced, and one of the most common logic family, which most of the ICs are manufactured, is the TTL logic family. So in whatever the gates you have realized in lab, they all belong to this TTL logic family. Okay, and your 8051 processor, all this belongs to TTL logic family. So in case of TTL logic family, logic 1 is from +2 to 0.8 volts, and logic 0 is +0 to 0.8 volts. So in the lab you might have seen, okay, while testing the ICs, for logic 0 you used to connect to ground, and sorry, there is a mistake here, +2 to 5 volts, and for logic 1 you used to connect to 5 volts, correct? Now there is different of logic levels. Your PC, which has got this RS232 port, follows this logic level, and your IC 8051 follows TTL logic level. Okay, so there is different of logic levels. Okay, so and this has continued. IBM has continued with the same logic levels. Because of this incompatibility, to make it compatible, what has been done is they have introduced an IC called as MAX 232 transceiver. Okay, what this MAX 232 transceiver does is it converts the TTL logic level to RS232 logic level. Okay, and vice versa, it converts the RS232 logic level to TTL logic level. Okay, so that's the job of MAX 232 IC. Fine. Now RS232 cables comes in 4 pin, 9 pin and 25 pin wiring, but the most common is the 9 pin. Okay. The data format for RS232 is start bit it is 0, stop bit it is 1. The data bits can be 5, 6, 7, 8, but most commonly used is 8 bits. Parity you can also set as odd parity, even parity, or if you don't want you can skip this. Okay, so this is the data framing of your RS232 standard. Okay, now let us come to the DB9 connector which is used. Okay, now your DB9 connector, it has got 9 signals. Okay, and you can also treat this as signals which are required for synchronous communication as well as asynchronous communication. Okay, anyway, transmission, reception and ground, it is common for both synchronous as well as asynchronous communication. Okay, so transmit bytes, TXT is transmits bytes out of computer or device. So in our case, transmit the byte out of 8051, receive the bytes from the external world to the 8051 microcontroller. So whatever you want to send bit by bit, it is transmitted by using this TXT pin. Whatever you want to receive, it will be coming to this RX pin, and this is the ground. Okay, now the other 6 signals are called as handshaking signals, and all these signals are related to the synchronous communication. As I told, uh, what we are having is asynchronous, but in case of synchronous communication, the devices need to talk to each other, okay, before the communication starts. The first is data terminal ready. Okay, so as you can see, whenever you see the word terminal, you should understand that this signal is generated by the computer. Now DTR, it's an active low signal which is sent by your PC to the device. So that device can be anything. It can be a modem or it can be any other device. Okay, why does it send? It sends this signal which is an active low to indicate the device that I am ready for communication. So when your PC sends this DTR signal, your device, in this case it is modem, it responds by sending data set ready signal, which is also an active signal, okay, to indicate that it is also ready for the communication. Okay, now we have got RTS and CTS. First is request to send. So RTS is an active low output signal from your DT. From your DT means from your PC to the modem. Why this signal is sent? when DT has a byte to transmit. So when your PC has got a byte to be transmitted, it asserts RT. It asserts RT means it makes RTS signal low to signal the modem that a 1 byte is ready for transmission. Okay. Next, your modem sends a signal in response to the RTS clear to send. Okay, so it sends this signal to indicate that yes, you can send, I am ready to receive the data and I am ready to store the data. Then you have one more signal handshaking, data carrier detect. So this is generated by the modem. Okay, the modem asserts signal DCD to inform your DT that a valid carrier has been detected. Okay, whenever it establishes a connection, okay, then it sends this signal to your PC. Okay, you might have already seen, like, if you are using any modem in your home and you have a software in the PC where you connect with that modem. So when your modem establishes the connection, so that information is sent by this DCD pin. The last one is ring indicator. It is basically related to your modem or telephone. So an output from the modem and it is an input to the PC. Whenever you get a call to your modem, so that is indicated by this RI signal. Okay. So both these concepts are very important for the theory. So please study with respect to theory. Thank you.